Hey, bitch, if you ain't got no Freon in that motherfucking car, I can't get in that bitch, you hear me? It's 90 degrees out here, shawty. You tripping? Tripping. Hey. I got bandos in my crib, I'm about to move another brick. Shorty says she love me, but girl, I got another bitch. Rolling down the streets in a Rari, pulling on sour, yes it's a party. Smoking and fucking ain't telling me shit. Bitches get gang when they jump on the dick. See, I pull up with like hundreds of chips, blowing on stinking and smelly as shit. All you gon' need is some shades on your face, not to go blind when you look at the wrist. Diamonds be cut like they cut up some fish. Before they was calling me son of a bitch, now they see that my summer's a hit. They skipping the lines, they jumping the whip. She asking a nigga if I want a wife, no she don't want a man, she want a swipe, but she want a scammer. Word to my grandma. How many pieces? How many licks? How many times did all of them hit? How many niggas done bailed out a bitch? How many niggas is popping when all of this money is making them sick? How many niggas done told? How many niggas done fold? How many niggas is saying they got you? How many of them niggas are roll? Too many niggas I put in my circle. Mama said watch it, them niggas I hurt you. Niggas I hurt you cause they not worth you. Don't worry about me cause I birthed you. How many times did I mob for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? How many times? How many times? How many times did I cry for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? 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 How many times did I mob for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? How many times? How many times?
Let's go out to my niggas, free the nigga J5. Coast to coast, we getting them racks. Ain't no doubt my niggas be fly. Lamborghini, fresh zucchini. All my bitches, they be meanies. Sour had you niggas leaning. My boy Leaky brought that perk. If you ain't getting it from my guy, then you niggas blowing dirt. Fresh polo on my body with that Cuban on my shirt. Skirting off in the Kawasaki, ain't no doubt I put in work. I'm in love with that guyena. Touch my brick and you'll get murked. Keep a hammer like a motor, nigga. In my hand, I sold a trigger. Wait till I blow over. We poppin' like some soda, nigga. I'm like so shy. I don't really know a nigga. Take him to the chopper, tie him up, and throw a nigga. Quick as a nigga with 4 choppers are spitting, I'm letting them off. How many niggas is ducking them more? How many bullets is hitting the wall? Waving that 4 when I walk in the door. Niggas that lay there just lay on the floor. I want the cash and I want it fast. Stop lying, you gon' make me blast. How many times
did I mob for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? How many times? How many times? How many times did I cry for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? 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 How many times did I mob for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? How many times? How many times? I can remember when I was in class, sitting here thinking about all of this cash, all of these drugs and all of these bags, all of these rapes with all of these jags. Boy, ain't no seeds in none of these bags. Most of these niggas be coming in last. Fresh as a prince, been high ever since. All of this money ain't making no sense, but yes, I'ma spend it 800 the limit. I'm showing these niggas you don't need a gimmick. I'm so authentic, you niggas just mimic. But if you owe, you better send it. Or you gon' need to visit the clinic. Hospital beds, they visit you in it. How many times? How many times? How many times did I mob for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? How many times? How many times? How many times did I cry for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? 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 How many times did I mob for 'em? How many times did I ride for 'em? Hey, how many times? How many times? How many times? How many times? How many times?